So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast with Cheem. We're gonna ask some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does that goddamn band name mean?
That's a good one. I guess, I guess I'll answer that because I'm one of two founding members left in the band. It actually started in high school, so that was several years ago at this point, and it was originally like a Taking Back Sunday ripoff band. Like we had, except it was like instead of a singer and then a guitarist vocalist, it was like two guitarist vocalists, and the other one was named Josh, and the other one of them was me, the other one was Josh, and he's the one who came up with the band name because like way before like the Rick and Morty years, he would say random words and shit like he'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty chungo. Hey, that's pretty Bleem, dude. That's pretty Cheem." And he caught like Cheem was one he latched onto, and he kept saying it. And we tried to come up with like a better band name, and then eventually we just Cheem was the one that we didn't all like. At least, okay, I hated Cheem at first, but I was willing to put that aside because the other three were like, "Yeah, Cheem's all right. We can agree on Cheem." And then also it meant that Josh could like never say it again without sounding like a big giant asshole. So we were like, "Yeah, let's take that word from him."
Yeah, exactly.
And then yeah, I love the name now. I don't know why I ever thought it was stupid. Probably because it is, but I mean, it's just grown. It grows on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like short and it's like memorable and it's dumb, and those are like the three things you need to like get
Just like
somebody like
all
to
of
talk
us,
about your band.
Yeah, in the nicest way possible, it checks every box of a really stupid band name.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
really
It's
stupid
perfect.
band
the
name.
goal.
Yeah.
And it's also like it. We used to have pretty good search engine optimization, and then that fucking meme happened. now we
Oh.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, like, you know what? We are not named after the fucking meme. Cheem doesn't mean anything. It means cool. Cheem basically means cool. That's where it came from. Like, because it was used in place of cool, but it doesn't have anything to do with the dog. Yeah, and then I mean, we started the band because when you're in high school in a town in the north, like east, that nothing happens there. So you're like, well, either I do a lot of drugs or I start a band, or both, and you start a band. So
Okay.
then we just kind of ended up playing shows. Josh left the band. We took it to college because we were like, nah, actually, this is kind of good. Like it wasn't at the time, but we thought it was. And then Sam joined. Eventually, Sean joined, and then our most recent addition, Nate, our bass player, joined. I feel like only recently we've like entered like the Frieza final form of Cheem, where it's like now, okay, this is Cheem. This is fucking Cheem. But yeah, it's been a long journey to get there. But it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to be here
technically
finally.
We've been active for a while, but like I almost don't want to say we have releases that go back to 2015.
Yeah,
but like I don't even
sound
want to
nothing
say,
like the new ones.
Yeah, I feel like our very first release would be this album that we dropped in October of 2017 called Downhill.
Yeah.
That was definitely the first iteration of Cheem that I was like, okay, this is like something that I feel confident with sharing with people, and like this is kind of like we had like an idea of the aesthetic or the image of the band that we were like, okay, what if we did this and this instead of just being like a Taking Back Sunday ripoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it did branch off from that. There was several other bands we were trying to rip off as well. You know, for a time it was like, you know, Algernon and like the Asian Kung Fu Generation and stuff like that. But then it was like, man, we should probably start like influencing ourselves or working on our influences that don't like have anything to do with rock. Because it was like, damn, like if you play rock with rock influences, you kind of just end up sounding like bands that people would prefer to listen to than you. So it's just, yeah, that's kind of how that came about.
How did you guys go from like a Taking Back Sunday ripoff band to whatever the hell Smooth Brain is?
I know how it started. I heard you tell the story recently, Sky, so I can repeat it.
Yeah.
Basically, with the very, very, very first release under the name Cheem, like the full-length release, Making a Planet, Sky looked back on that release and essentially said, we play the same exact drum beat on every single song. So that's, the foundation of each song. So we need to really just, from the foundation up, the drum beats, change it around and switch up the genres. And I remember him specifically saying that to me, like, once I joined the band, because I joined, like, as soon as Making a Planet came out. We were writing those songs for Downhill, and a lot of them have these really just weird grooves that pull from other influences. I remember Sky saying at the time hip-hop. And I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. And that definitely became more pronounced on Cheem TV, which came out in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Because we literally started rapping in songs, but then there were trap beats, and I had to really smooth it out, my hi-hat rolls, and that mixtape Cheem TV was really big bridge between our older sound, which was more explicitly rock, and this kind of sound that we've all fallen into, where we can just we can release a really goofy pop hip hop song like Smooth Brain and feel like it's a really solid part of what we put out so far.
To sum it up, we just wanted to make music that were more true to like what we all essentially listen to,
Yeah. I mean, for reference to that, it's like when people are like, "Oh yeah, Cheem just like started rapping," it's like, nah. I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere. Like I've been like rapping and writing raps and making beats and shit like that. Like rapping specifically since I was like fucking 10. Like I've been writing raps since then, and then like beat making I started in like middle school, high school. So it's like once Cheem got to a point where I was like, "Oh wait a minute, I can just do this in Cheem too," haha. Then it was like that's kind of where the Cheem changed, like finalized itself. Like it was like, okay, I'm gonna rap in Cheem. That's the final frontier. You cross that, you can't go back. So, but at that point, I'd already been doing it long enough that I was like, okay, it probably won't be whack. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I feel like people were curious about that shit because I don't know. I don't see a lot of bands who like start rapping or start not rapping and then start. It usually goes the other way around. Like they get more like mature, quote unquote, and they stop rapping.
Yeah.
But we did the opposite.
Okay. Solid. All right. Okay. So congrats on your newest singles, Smooth Brain and Basement Show Baby? BB.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about the response to those singles so far?
Good.
Great.
They definitely are doing better than any song we've ever released before.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, the number, like, you don't want to ever like have to like look at or rely on numbers as like a fucking artist, but like when you do look at like streaming numbers, it's like, wow, people actually kind of seem to connect with these songs like instantly, whereas before it was more like a slow burn with like the streaming and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's just because like we have a larger reach now or something like that, but it does feel good to like put out weirder shit and have people maybe not even just like resonate with it, but resonate with it more than our previous stuff. Like that's pretty gratifying. It's cool.
Yeah.
Makes taking risks less scary, I would say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I saw Smooth Brain all over the timeline. Everyone and their mother was retweeting that promo video you guys did for it. Yeah, it was everywhere.
I can really use the internet, so word.
Sean's not on Twitter.
Oh,
Sean's on like
stay away.
Yeah, thanks.
Sean's over there on MySpace.
Sean's on like PS Live or like whatever.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, true.
Whoa.
True. PSN, that's where you'll find me.
So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process?
Yeah, sure.
Question.
I write songs and then they come out. No, I'm kidding. No,
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Wow.
Usually what happens is some kind of genesis, like for an idea, like happens like at some point. I'll hear something and I'm like, oh man, that's cool. Like I want to try something like that, and I just sort of keep that in the back of my brain for a while, and then like eventually I have like a different tangible idea that's not just like a concept, and then I can apply it to that, and it becomes like a riff. And then once you get a riff, you make a demo out of it. And now that I've been like demoing stuff full band for a while, like I learned to incorporate a lot of the electronic shit like way earlier on, and so it doesn't just sound like a rock song with like synths on top of it. It sounds like an integrated combination of rock and synth shit. And then basically I demo that out, show it to the band. Usually I'll have some lyrics or maybe none at all, and then I'll kind of work on vocals and stuff with Sam. Sam will sometimes like write lyrics or just melodies, and I'll write lyrics to the melodies, or sometimes I come with the whole thing. And then we record it for real. Usually a lot of that involves dropping the original stems for like the synths in the new, like in the final project, because it's all to a grid and shit like that. And most of the sounds that like I kind of try to achieve like before I even bring it to anybody, so that I can be like, hey, here's this thing that like I've heard in my head. It's like, oh yeah, I want you to hear it the way I hear it. And then once we get the final thing done, we just tweak it. Like every member of the band is like, oh yeah, we should do this or that, or like if it's a thing where there's bass and drums, like live shit on it, they'll play their parts like however they fucking feel like playing them. And then the song's done. Usually, sometimes it's not at that point. Sometimes more shit has to be done. But for the most part, from like beginning to end, a lot of the really like nitty gritty, like, oh man, like trial and error shit happens just on my end. And then I finally bring like a somewhat completed idea to the band. And then it's like, okay, now we start fucking working on it like it's a real song.
Yeah, so even if Sky like may like write like a good portion of the skeleton of the band, it doesn't really like finalize until every ear is laid on it. Like everyone brings their own ideas to the table, like Scott mentioned, I do write some of the vocals as well, and everyone brings their own ideas to their parts. And then also we also produce everything ourselves. Gabe, the other guitarist Gabe and myself both studied music production, so we'll just literally mix it all together. Gabe will do he'll kind of hold the project, but we'll all just kind of like work on it together and like perfect the idea until we can all agree that it's complete.
And Gabe, big shout out to Gabe. I just want to say that, for the record, say Gabe engineers everything. Like anytime we do live recording, drums, bass, guitar, vocals, he's the one setting it up and like monitoring it, and he has all the gear and shit, and he mixes a lot of stuff. And then a lot of the weird electronic shit that I make in the beginning of the stages of the song, I will just throw over to him and be like, all right, cool. Now just figure out how to, make this thing you've never heard before or worked with before in your life sound like pretty cool. And then he'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then we somehow make it work. So yeah, shout outs to Gabe.
Wow.
That's all I gotta say is wow.
Wow. No, it's very collaborative, and I like that. Also, that you guys mix everything yourself. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Since day one. Actually, kind of, but.
Yeah, well, the only time we ever tried letting somebody else mix our shit, we were just like, "Fuck this, dude! Yeah, like, this sucks." Nope. So we're just like, let's just learn how to get good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, where is your headspace while creating those two singles?
I guess one thing that is important to say is that the two singles aren't necessarily indicative of like everything we're going to be doing from here on out. Like, there's some fucking loud, heavy Cheem songs like on the way. So if anybody was worried about that for some reason,
I've never heard come out, from you.
Yeah, but the headspace for the singles was kind of just like, I don't know, watching like too many TikToks. I guess that's kind of how it went.
That's fair.
Honestly.
Actually, I can name two specific songs that inspired both of them. Shit, I can't remember the name of the fucking Drake and Lil Durk one. No, but like I know how it goes. It's the fucking brand new whip got no keys. Shit, the fucking. You know what that song's called?
Brand new whip.
Whip got no keys. Yeah.
It's Lil Baby.
That's not Lil Baby, is it?
Yes, it's yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, the remix to that, the one with you're not supposed to say the word that's in the title. It's Gypsy. It's very offensive to the Romani people. Just putting that out there. But it's the song. It was an old house track. They took the chords from that and remixed it under the rap vocals, and it sounds really cool. And it was like a big TikTok song. I was like, fuck, I want to write a song like that. And that's kind of how I wrote Smooth Brain. And then Basement Show BB was literally like, I think I heard Roxanne, and I was like, oh, I want to write a song like that. And then I did. So that was kind of like how those, not Roxanne by the Police, Roxanne by Arizona Zerba. That probably makes more sense in case people thought it was the Police one. But yeah, so those two was kind of like, just want to make something fun and like electronic and modern. It was also like quarantine, so it was like, we really can't do full band recordings right now. So let's just try something different because we got time, like we have to put our full band stuff on hold. So let's do something else.
Yeah, just fuck around. Okay. So what band or artist influences do you think you can hear the most in your music? I know you touched on the couple of singles.
I think we all know the one that we say immediately.
Yeah. The big one is 311.
311. Wait, and we're at the same time. 3, 2, 1, 311.
311. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so out of sync. I'm sorry.
Well, we haven't been influenced with 311 for our entire career, but I personally have. So it's only been a group thing since like probably Downhill, because 311's been like my favorite band since like middle school. It's one of those things where people think it's a meme. Like I'm like, oh, I love 311. They're like, oh, me too. Eric Andre. I'm just like, yeah, no, man, but like they're good.
I actually like 311.
Yeah. They're a huge influence. I guess I would also say NSYNC. I've been listening to NSYNC since I was like 4 years old. And that shit
I was listening to them earlier
Nobody
today.
can tell me otherwise. Hell yeah.
Smack.
We're big. Sky and I are big NSYNC fans. Like my two biggest influences as a vocalist are Frank Ocean and Justin
Taste. Bro,
Yes.
Frank Ocean. Let's go. Okay.
Like
and then from release to release, like each individual song also has like different influences. Like I'll hear something that's like very forward thinking, and I'm just like, man, I wish I thought of that. Now I have to think of something like similar, but not at all the same. I don't know. Like I just artists like a lot of like Polyphia, like their new fucking album. Like when I heard New Levels, New Devils, I was like, God damn it, why didn't I think of this exact thing? So then it's just like people who like make shit like that. That's like very, very like kind of futuristic. That sort of pushes us and pushes me specifically to be like, all right, well, we got to step our game up, and then that helps come up with ideas.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's sick. Okay. This question should be like super fast off the top of your head. I want you to describe your music in 3 words. Off the top of your head. Super quick.
Big
You guys-
fucking jam. No, that's
Thank
bad.
you. Oh, okay. All of you have to come up with one. This isn't a
Oh, fuck me. Oh, my God.
Boy band, new metal.
boy band, new
That's-
metal. That's
If
4.
New
make
metal
boy
can-
band one word, then it's
New metal's 1?
no.
Sure.
New metal's definitely 2 words. Boy band could be
Wait,
one
yeah.
word, though, I
We'll just
feel
make
like.
all the
Okay.
words one
I
word.
got it.
What?
Got it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Boy band, new metal is my first word out of the 3.
Mhm.
It's just one
Candy
long
Store
word.
Deftones.
What did you say?
Said Candy Store Deftones. At least the new
Yeah,
music.
that's pretty good. That's pretty
yeah.
good.
That's a good one.
I'd probably say like Rainbow somewhere in there. Just like
Okay.
that's one of my 3, and then
One
the
of
other
your
ones
three.
are
Rainbow Kitten Deftones.
definitely not Kitten, dude. That's like, come on, man. We're not Redditors. No, we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Rainbow gel glitter. That's
There you
kinda how
go.
I feel
Rainbow
about it.
gel
Okay.
glitter. That's beautiful.
All right.
Wow.
Very beautiful. Is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening to your music?
Yeah. Basically, like, you ever see, like, a Disney Channel? This is very specific. You ever see the end of a Disney Channel original movie? And there's,
Mhm.
like, it's kind of like, there's, like, it's probably, like, 10, 15 years ago, so bands still, like, existed at the time. And, like,
Mhm.
you know, there's, like, a stage and a band's playing, and maybe, like, the main character's older brothers in the band or some shit like that. And everybody's partying. and it goes through each of the individual characters and shows them, and they're all, like, happy. But then it, like, shows the villain. They're like, oh, I'm kind of sad right now. And, like, just that kind of feeling that the crowd is having, like, I want us to be that band at every performance and for every song people hear. It's like, oh, okay, this is like the big movie end moment where it's just like, hell yeah, like we're all vibing. Like I just want everybody, as many people as possible, to vibe together. That's the big thing.
Okay.
Wow,
And-
that was perfect.
That was very specific. Holy shit.
Very specific. To be a little more vague, I'd say something like something you can throw on your own and like be able to listen to and find something new in the mix that you probably haven't heard before, but also be able to just like throw it on your speakers while you're listening with your friends and just like have it be music that could be playing over, you know, like a party or something
Mhm.
that is not like still not intrusive to the vibe.
Yeah.
The way that I see it is that, and I've heard Sky say this before too, is that no matter what kind of genre we're operating in, everything has to just absolutely bang live. Like we just want people to like really, really be grooving. Like no matter if we're playing something heavy or we're playing something a little bit more like swung and stripped back and like vocally based, or something that's just like kind of a freak out, you know, weird syncopation, like time signatures, whatever. It all needs to just go off live. That's always kind of been like part of our ethos, I'd say.
Okay.
100%, 100%.
I
Wow.
like that.
That was wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So is this single leading up to anything, or these 2 singles, are they leading up to anything? Are there any projects on the horizon? An album, EP? Yes, no?
Well,
That's not an answer.
The single, I feel like
No, we're quitting. We're
the
breaking
singles
Oh my
themselves
God.
are not part of a larger release.
Okay.
The
Yeah, they're
Baseball
standalones.
Baby,
The singles.
Smooth Brain, they're their own things. Like
Mhm.
they're not part of. They're not going to appear in any kind of bigger release in the future. Like they exist. They're in the world, and that is where they'll stay.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean, we
Yeah.
also are. Yeah, we have an EP / out. It's 7 tracks. We don't
Yeah.
know what to call it. We're gonna call it a mini album. We have a mini album that's done.
It's a collection
It's
of songs, a record.
It's been
Tracks
done.
that people
Yeah,
haven't
we leaked
heard.
it to too many people at this point. Like way too many people have heard
Okay.
this thing.
I take that.
Um,
Okay, so can you add 2 more people onto that? and
Yeah,
drop
can
in
you
our
leak
DMs?
it to us?
100%. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
we
you.
100%.
Pog.
And we may or
Thank you.
may not be dropping a song next month.
Yeah.
It's not from that EP. It's another one of its own, just like single.
And then we have
Okay.
You have
three.
too much
We have
music.
we have 3 other songs that are going on a different release that I can't talk about right now. But at
Split.
some point,
Yeah.
nah, dude.
Now.
Of course not.
Nice.
Isn't there a
And then
split like
there's
that the
just the-
entire DIY scene is doing or something? Like everybody's jumping on that? And we're just gonna throw you guys
yeah,
on
sure.
it.
I haven't. Yeah, we they told us about that one totally. Yeah, we know about it. They let us in on that secret. No, and then we have way too much like stuff that's just like in the works. Like, I will say this: like everything we write is pretty much like produced at some point. Like I had it way farther ahead of time than anybody thinks it is. Like stuff like Cheem TV, that mixtape, like most of that was written before Downhill came out, and then Downhill, like most of that was written before Making a Planet came out. So it's like we're always we have a backlog, and we definitely have a backlog going right now of like stuff that's like done in the demo stages and it's just ready to get like recorded. Not
to leak too much, but I think the last time I checked, we had at least 25 ideas / completely written tracks, and that's
not counting the other ones we talked about.
Yeah, not counting those ones. So there's a whole lot that we really want to like share.
We're itching, but we can't. We can't.
Lots of exciting shit. All right.
We're a powerhouse.
All right. It's exciting for it all.
Good backlog. Yeah.
So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
Bigger than Nirvana.
Let's go.
100 emoji.
I mean, where do we see the band? I don't know. I think we try kind of hard not to think about that because like the goal is complete and total world domination. Like absolutely the biggest band ever. Like
start, I think.
That's a good start. Yeah, 5 years is
I
a
feel like
long
we're
time
really
though.
efficient with our process now, but imagine if like we lived like less than an hour away.
Right. Yeah.
We would just.
I definitely want to do more like.
Healthy. I think it would be really healthy for us, so we should totally do it.
We're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do more like video shit too. I think as that would be easier to do if we lived together, but definitely more like YouTube shit and random clips here and there. And like I wanted to start like a band Twitch channel. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, I'll be on that.
But
shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. But it's just like I don't know. 5 years from now, it's like I would hope we're still doing it, and I would hope like we've at least put out one thing that like people have like recognized on like a wider scale and been like, oh shit, like this band is actually not just like a bunch of fucking like weirdos making weird music. Like it's something that can kind of catch on with like people, especially like younger people. Like not just like I don't know. I feel like a lot of like the DIY scene that we know is like aging out of the DIY scene now. So it's cool that Twitter is a thing because it allows us to like interact with newer bands pretty easily. And I think as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we might actually end up putting out something that resonates with younger people and younger bands. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, 5 years is very long.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we fucking sucked. 5 years ago, we were awful. So
we were bad, yeah. But another thing Scott and I talked about, we're both really into fashion, and we want to like maybe expand on Cheem and like maybe like make like a clothing line.
So like Grayscale-esque kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheem gear coming 2021, baby.
Cheem X Gucci.
Yeah.
Fuck luxury brands. Our shit is all gonna be affordable. We're gonna be affordable.
It made it 100 times funnier that he lagged out like halfway through
it's a pipe.
Yeah.
Bit crushed.
I'm on data right now because I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but as soon as I got on my computer and logged in that Zoom call, like pretty much a couple seconds after we started our beef together, my Wi-Fi just died. The Wi-Fi in my house just fucking died. So luckily I pay for unlimited data. So
Let's go. Okay. So the answer to that was clothing brand, maybe?
Hopefully, yeah.
So okay, solid. So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay, and
totally
go straight to death row. So, if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Should this be as a band or?
No, this is separate. You guys are having a last supper
together.
We took the beef too far, and now we're on death row. So.
Oh my god.
I can't even decide what we want for dinner on any given night, so it's gonna be probably here for a while.
Oh man, last meal. That's difficult, bro. Oh man. God. I want to think about it, man. Actually, you know what? There is this one sandwich that's like they have it at a couple different places around me. But the place that makes it the best is the fucking Cornadelli of Massimo's. Fucking delicious. It's chicken cutlet, prosciutto, roasted red peppers, fresh mozzarella, and balsamic vinegar on like a grinder.
Oh.
Yo, that shit it hits way too hard. Like I have to like stop myself from getting it as often as I want because I feel like it'll ruin it. But that would probably be if I had to pick one fucking meal. That's it. And the drink is it. The drink we all know what the drink is. It's Arizona iced tea.
Oh,
lemon. Every time.
All right.
Every fucking time. That would be my last drink. That one wasn't hard, but the meal was hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, I know what I would want. I would want breakfast for dinner, but like full breakfast, like milk it for whatever it's worth. So, like full stack of chocolate chip pancakes, eggs a few different ways, buttered toast, bacon, sausage, maybe like a bagel, like breakfast sandwich type of deal on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And if I only got one drink, I feel like I'd have to drink it separate from the meal itself, but it would be lemonade.
Lemonade. Ooh,
Lemonade's my ride or die when I'm not drinking alcohol. So that's for me. Are you looking up restaurants right now?
Yeah. Okay. I forgot.
Oh yeah, actually, put as a side dish on mine. Put the hush puppies from Cookout. Put them there.
True.
For me,
True, right? Yeah.
There's this sushi place in the greater Boston area, and it's some of the best sushi I've ever had in my entire life. And I go there with my dad and my step grandma, and I just get like a sushi plate. It's like it's got any sort of fish you can think of, tuna, salmon, eel. Eel's like my favorite sushi of all time. And
any sort of fish. Let me talk.
Eel,
It's got
tuna,
goldfish on
salmon. Nah, shut up!
Mr. Breaking Sam.
Oh my god.
I'm breaking.
Lion
A
fish.
drink with that?
And
Clownfish.
yeah, so just like that sushi deluxe meal,
Angler fish.
and then as my beverage, I'd get the pear peach seltzer made by Stop and Shop.
Okay.
Solid.
Alright.
Nice.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Pokemon.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Probably.
One Piece. I want to be a pirate with crazy allergic reaction from a berry.
Okay.
To be fair, nobody ever really dies in One Piece, so you're pretty safe in One Piece. No, yeah, Pokemon.
Die
would
One
probably be it for me.
Piece.
Let's not get into spoilers, Terry. Let us not do this. we about to ruin One Piece for the viewers. No,
I didn't say it.
Pokemon. 100% Pokemon.
All right.
Pokemon. Okay.
Sean?
Yeah, I think it's a tie between One Piece and Pokemon.
Okay. Sean?
Oh god, my head's in a dark place right now, but I think I'm gonna have to say Mass Effect because
I thought you were gonna
having
say Apex Legends.
no,
Bruh.
I'm not gonna get into that. But like Mass Effect, just having a massive race of giant robots to wipe everything out and start everything over. I think that we could really use that right now. We need it.
Okay. All right.
Wow, very very optimistic take
I
on
told
Mass
you my
Effect.
head was in a dark place. I was trying to find a better universe to pick, but I really had to go with Mass Effect.
At least in the world of Pokemon, you can have
You
that
could've
little
just-
guy that just follow you around, or like a really big guy, and like you just like battle other people for badges.
Yeah, exactly, Sean. You could have just piggybacked off Pokemon. It was that easy. You're like, I want to destroy the
We
universe.
just gotta
Oh
step
my
it
God.
That'd be
up,
cool.
without capitalism, hopefully. Like,
Not to get on a lighter note, I think my favorite Pokemon is Houndoom. If you were wondering,
Is that your new play? I thought your favorite was Mew.
it's Houndoom and Lucario. Those are my two
Word.
mains.
Oh yeah, my favorite's still Elekid.
Nice.
I don't.
Do either of you guys have a favorite?
I
No favorites.
like Squirtle.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a good pick. That's a solid pick. Honestly,
Thank
I
you.
was at Target the other day.
Mhm.
I was at Target the other day, and there's like two kids, complete separate families, both like going ape shit over Squirtle, and it's like, yo, kids still love the older Pokemon. Like they got to get their shit together, and make some new ones that kids like, because kids still like Squirtle.
Mhm.
Kids don't give a shit about these last 6-7 generations.
Exactly. We don't
Gotta
care
be
about.
still Squirtle.
care. We care about Squirtle. Ignore his missing foot. My
Hell
Oh
yeah.
God.
Get it off.
Poor
Hang
thing.
on, let me grab Elekid real quick. I got a little one of him right there.
Oh
There
my
we go.
god. I don't have any Pokemon to show off because I've watched the series.
That's okay. That was a flex. It was just a small
Flex.
flex. We can get over it now.
If you're
Okay.
ever interested, they have a bunch of plushies.
Mhm.
There's a whole website of Pokemon plushies, and they're all amazing.
Thank you.
I would recommend it. They're amazing.
I will.
Just even
check
just
it
looking
out.
at them brings joy.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
check it out because I need some joy. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said it's the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, yellow. Let's go. Yellow's the best color.
I'm an indigo kind of guy.
Period. Okay.
I like any shade. Oh God.
If you remember,
What?
I had to ask you this question for the downhill inside cover because we did like weird little like we kind of like parodied like Teen Beat magazines with like little like portraits of like our heads and like our star sign, our favorite color, and like likes and dislikes and shit like that. I don't know if anybody still has one of those CDs, but that's a relic right there. And I asked Sam for the favorite color, and you said like dark blue, right? You were like any shade of like dark blue.
Yeah, any shade of dark
Is
blue.
it still
like,
there?
I'd say like it's merged more into like the blue purple sort of realm.
So indigo.
I guess.
That's a good ass color. That's a great color.
Yeah.
It's a great color.
Or pink.
Okay.
Pink solid.
All
I learned
solid
the other day
choices.
that like fuchsia or pink or whatever doesn't exist. It's just like what our brain makes up because there is no wavelength like to represent pink. Because purple's on one end of the spectrum, red's on the other end of the spectrum, and they go off in either direction like infrared and like ultraviolet. But there is no like combination of red and pink because it's not a color wheel. So like our rods and cones just make up fuchsia or pink or whatever, and it's not real. But that's what our brain tells us there.
I don't
So I
appreciate
love
you
that.
blowing my
What?
fucking mind.
Yeah, that's actually. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Color Out of Space. I think it's based on like a Lovecraft story. Nicolas Cage is in it, but they make the color, quote unquote, in that movie fuchsia because it doesn't exist for real. That's why they do that.
Okay.
I've heard that before.
Well, way to blow my fucking mind and way to end it there. So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Our band, yeah. No, just go follow us on Twitter, Cheem_SZN. That means season. If you're old and you don't know that, it means season. Cheem season. And go stream our stuff on Spotify or whatever streaming service you like. Just listen to it, love it, share it, and also share it with your friends. That's the most important thing because nobody else is sharing that shit. So just show it to anybody and everybody.
All right. Yeah.
Before we dominate the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, be there first. You know what I mean?
Before they're
We
bigger
do
than
appreciate
Nirvana.
all the real ones. Like if you ever have shared us on the internet, you're my best friend. So thank you.
That's very
No, no,
wholesome.
That was very wholesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of best friends.
Yeah.
It'd be way too long to shout out everyone who is a real one, but like a lot of you and everyone who knows, they know. People
They
know.
know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. You're a chemo.
Yeah.
Chemo.
Chemo.
Actually, I thought it was Manic Pixie Cheem Girl. I thought that's what they voted on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we voted on.
Yeah.
Twitter voted for that. I'm still on Team Chemo because
It was like 300 votes. It was like 300 votes. The people want Manic Pixie Cheem Girl. That's what they want.
Well, then you're a real manic pixie team girl.
I like chemo.
I preferred the
You
ending.
can like what you like.
So thank you for sitting down with us, guys. This has been Cheem, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.